Greatest stopping picture he ever had, and it was him.
The horse Dr. Jim Morgan is talking about is the great Hesa Smart Chick. This beautiful 1995 stallion was trained and ridden by Jim to win over $50,000 in reining competition. As a non-pro who breeds and trains his own horses, Dr. Morgan saw a very special quality in Hesa Smart Chick from the beginning. And when his training started, Jim knew he was correct about his early expectations.
There was just no obstacles in the way. You had to pace yourself, and I would say that probably every other horse I've ever ridden in my life, except for a couple of them, they prepare you to ride a horse like that. So you do have some idea of what to do with them, because it can be a little confusing, because a lot of times when you ride that kind of a horse, you wonder what to do to him, because there's really not that much discipline involved in riding that horse. So you just keep moving forward, and every day is a special day.
Hesa Smart Chick started his show career by tying for third place at the 1998 NRHA Non-Pro Futurity. And the following year, he captured the non-pro championship at the National Reining Breeders' Classic. In 2000, he was the United States Equestrian Team Pro-Am champion at the Festival of Champions in Gladstone, New Jersey, after taking the reserve championship the previous year. Hesa Smart Chick's appearance at the 1999 Festival of Champions was truly a landmark event. For the first time in history, after many years in the making, the equine industry witnessed a Western horse and rider walk into the ring to compete for a spot on the United States Equestrian Team. And that horse was Hesa Smart Chick.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. How about a great big round of applause for our first ever reiner right here at the USET Festival of Champions, Dr. Jim
He was the first
Morgan.
horse ever to be shown in Western tack at Gladstone. Yep, he was the first horse to walk in the ring, and it's probably the most pressure I ever felt in my life showing a horse, because there were so many breed people there, and I represented all of the Western breeds when I walked into that ring. It was incredible. The number of people were there to see the first Western horse walk in that ring. And I can tell you one thing, that I was so glad I was riding him, because I knew that he was not going to make me look stupid.
Hesa Smart Chick had a tremendous performance, but it was no big surprise to Jim.
You could count on him, and he showed unbelievable. I mean, just the ground wasn't that great, and everybody was complaining about it. And it wasn't a factor for me, because I knew this horse, no matter what was happening, he would perform at a high level that day. I knew he would.
Hesa Smart Chick is truly a beautiful, well-balanced stallion.
A class act. And
he was so athletic and talented. Things were so easy for him, but he was very willing to please. And those are two things, as horse people know, they're hard to put together. A lot of times you have a talented horse that just won't give it up, or one that just doesn't have the talent. But to find those two qualities in a horse, very, very unique, and just very exciting to ride that caliber of horse. And they do one of the things that I think is the most important thing in a reining horse, is they carry themselves. And what I mean by that is that you don't have to frame them up. You don't have to spend 90% of your time checking them up and getting them to lope slow.
Realizing these were some of the best colts they had ever laid eyes on, Jesse and Milo Kirk purchased the stallion in 2005.
And I think once they saw these horses just year after year after year, they said, you know, this is not a mystery here. This is just a high caliber horse. And I think that everybody that has ever rode or trained or showed a reining horse, rode one of these, they'd be tickled to death. And it's almost a feeling when you ride and train and show these horses that ride like he does, you really don't care whether you win or whether you don't. That may sound stupid, but it's such a thrill to ride them that winning becomes secondary. because winning will take care of itself. You ride that caliber of horse, he's going to take care of you.
He's become the centerpiece for the breeding program at Kirks Rockin Ranch. He's by Smart Chick Alina, whose offspring have earned over $9 million in reining, rein cow horse, and cutting competition, making him one of the performance horse industry's top sires. His dam is Banjo's Playgirl, who was also bred, owned, and ridden to an NRHA Futurity Non-Pro Reserve Championship by Dr. Morgan. Also owning and riding Banjo's Playgirl's sire and dam, the bottom side of Hesa Smart Chick's pedigree is like family to Jim, and breeding him was no fluke.
Of course, to get that horse of that caliber, you got to have a little luck on your side as well.
Outstanding breeding combined with a little luck produced an outstanding horse, and Jim felt it even at a very early age.
There's a certain aura about them when they're born, and you just can't wait to get on them and ride them, and they just never disappoint you.
Jim was right, and Hesa Smart Chick never did disappoint. While Dr. Morgan owned Hesa Smart Chick, breeding outside horses was never a priority, as Jim was content with limiting the breeding program to his own mares.
I've never really went out to the public and tried to get on a promotional thing where I'd bred a lot of mares, because my life's always been busy enough as it is without breeding 100 and 150 mares of somebody else's. And that part of my life I think I kept mostly for my own entertainment and my own enjoyment to raise high quality horses.
With a very limited number of offspring, Hesa Smart Chick has sired some outstanding performers.
Trainers, we spend a lot of time the first 30, 60 days just trying to get a lot of these colts to stand up and lope around properly, and these things are pretty amazing in that as soon as they learn right or left, right and left, they just stand up and go around really nice, and that, you know, that translates into everything as far as maneuvers go for a reining horse. They turn around easy, they stop easy. The majority of them want to change leads real easy, so they've just been a real nice group of horses to start.
We had seen, my husband and I, Jesse, we had seen Mr. Friendly, he's a smart chick, since he was 2 years old. Watched Jim training. He trained so easy. We absolutely fell in love with him.